Hey Mike, I wanted to record this short video to go through this quote just to kind of give you an overview of what's inside of it. This is through Cincinnati Insurance. Front cover, you go through, they'll tell you how great they are, and they really are a good company. I think they're the #1 commercial insurance company in the country today. And part of the reason why I like them is because they don't run away from providing insurance coverage, which a lot of companies like to provide you with a quote, but then there's 10,000 pages of exclusions. And so these guys actually do provide good coverage for you. So when we get into the coverage, there's an endorsement that provides some broader coverage. The coverage that we put on your building, and we'll need to add the hanger to it, but you can see what that total premium is there, and it'll explain later what's inside of this endorsement, but there's some good important coverages inside of there for you. And we did bump up your limit to 300,000 to cover, all your stock, your machines, your phone system, your computers, etc. This is everything inside of your building. We go down, this will give you some additional details on this endorsement and what's covered in there. And probably the big things in there would be the electronic data processing coverage, and then the blanket coverage up there between the two locations is a nice blanket limit as well. The business income is the one that's kind of important. If something happened to you and you were down for 6 months, this business income provides quite a bit of coverage for you to be able to hold on to key staff, be able to pay loans and things like that. Just getting down here, anything in here that really stands out? Not a lot. Continuing on, there's a little bit of coverage in here for cyber. Not a lot, but you don't have a huge exposure there. General liability, you have a $1 million, $2 million limit. It provides coverage for you in the course of your operation. There's some contractors broadened liability there that gives you some coverage for both sign erection and then sign manufacturing, and you can see the breakdown between the two. One of them's payroll and one of them's gross sales. We want to try and put as much as we can into this sign erection. Right now you have basically an office policy, which is, as you know, is not the right coverage. An office policy kind of says that you're doing like an insurance agent and you have a different exposure there. So keep going. There's some broadened coverage in there for contractors for the work that you're doing. We can go through that in more detail. Again, this is nice to have coverage. If you get sued for $10,000, $15,000 under your current policy and it has to do with waiver of subrogation, you may not be covered, at least in this policy. It's $15,000 may not sound like a lot, but if you had to pay that out of pocket, it would probably be annoying if you could have transferred that risk for a few $100. This is your coverage for cyber. We're just throwing it in on everything because we're starting to see it more and more pop up. You can see $86 for that coverage on an annual basis, not a big deal. And we can get higher limits for obviously more premium. Inland marine, I wanted to show you on here, we have some coverage for an installation floater, coverage for tools while they're out at the job site. Again, this is something that you don't have right now in any way, shape, or form. And so if you're transporting a sign, you get into an accident, the sign gets demolished, you've got some coverage for that. We can bump that up if $10,000 isn't enough for you. And then garage keepers. Garage keepers covers any vehicle while it's in your care, custody, and control. So think about putting on a wrap on a car and you scratch it and it's a Mercedes, or you do something and it damages the paint on the car. I know probably highly unlikely that it would happen, but if it did, you have got coverage for it in the amount of up to $50,000 for any vehicle. And again, you can see the premium. And here's the total premium summary for everything. There is one coverage that I have asked them to provide for me, and it is a coverage for what they call rigging or on hook coverage, and it would be anytime you are lifting anything for a client, most likely it's going to be a sign, and you drop it, you damage it in any way, that's a separate coverage. And I know that probably sounds funny, but most policies exclude rigging or on hook coverage, and so I want to make sure we get you a premium for that. So that's the last thing that I've asked for Cincinnati to get to us. There is, if you see down here, there is we need a completed MI 1360 application and subcontractor agreement. If this quote looks good to you and you want to move forward with that, I will get you both of those two documents, something that you can use as a subcontractor agreement, and then the other application that I need you to complete, which should be pretty easy because it's really asking for contractors in the more traditional sense. So anyway, that is it in a nutshell. I will look forward to connecting with you and going through this in more detail if you want to, or answer any questions you may have based on this short video that I put together for you. Anyway, lots of fun stuff. I'll look forward to talking to you more about it. Thanks, Micah. Bye.